Hello, and welcome to another week of the Abuse Cartoons podcast. I guess live stream. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Live stream. Yeah, I'm all shifted here. I think my camera is a little bit off. Whoa, there's the mic. All right. So sorry about that. I hope this works okay. I guess I don't want that on camera, do I? Rough start. Hey, Will. How Damon? How's it going? Good to see you guys. Started a little bit earlier than usual, but as clumsy as hell. So yeah, I'm a little bit shifted off, and I'm keeping the lighter background for Photoshop, so it looks less dismal. The stream looks very dark, except for this little white cartoon box. So we'll keep the weird retro Photoshop for now. And I think I'm going to have to start with the convenience store segment. So a little unusual getting things started because I've got this cold energy drink, and the warmer it gets, the worse it's going to taste. So we may as well give it the benefit of the doubt and open it sooner rather than later. So let's do that. So apologies for anyone. Oh, nice. Having some chips. Nice. Oh, and Cheetos too. Oh yeah, I miss Cheetos. we don't have anything. I guess there's some puffed rice kinds of things, but yeah, no Cheetos. All right, so let me switch over to convenience store, and I'll just start this, and maybe the caffeine will help get me through this whole process. So here's the convenience store. All right. So this week so I saw this on a vending machine and couldn't resist. It's the let's get some light on it. The Godzilla Energy. So this giant energy drink, kind of similar to the with a G, G mode, G fuel, that they're selling here now. But there really isn't anything this large. I guess there's some big monster, those bottle cans. But this is made by a company that always does weird knockoff drinks. So they do kind of lookalikes for popular brands of tea and sodas and things. And sometimes they get licenses, and they do a series of like cans with different images, like kind of collectible cans. And this is a very old Godzilla. As you can see, this is a 90s Heisei Godzilla. And I think he's fighting Space Godzilla. There we go. So we got Godzilla versus Space. Or no, who is that? No, that's Bio. No, that's not Violent. Space Godzilla. Who is that? Well, it's one of those goofy Heisei mutations of Godzilla. That's right. No, Space Godzilla has the big crystal. This is one of those other creeps, and this is the series where Godzilla eventually, like, by the last movie, had overheated and was basically just going to explode. He was glowing with radiation. So yeah, very old image. So I guess they still have this license or whatever. This company is Cheerio, and they have these like red and white striped vending machines that look like circus tents. Very odd. And I don't have high hopes for this stuff, but it does have a ton of caffeine in it. So it's got 210 milligrams of caffeine, and all kinds of other wonderful, the same kind of things that most energy drinks like Red Bull and stuff have in it. So Godzilla Energy, branded with with a very old picture. So let's see what kind of a knockoff energy drink this is. So yeah, I wanted to try it as cold as possible. So that's why we're doing this early. So let's give it a shot. Wow. Yeah, it's it's weird. It's kind of like a weird in between. It's a little bit it's not as sweet as the other stuff. The fake sugar is pretty bad. It's not as sweet as Monster, or even Red Bull. But it's kind of the taste is kind of in between. It doesn't have that vitamin aftertaste. There's a lot of vitamin in it, but it's a lot less strong than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to have that real strange kick. Yeah, it's okay. There's a little bit of that vitamin in there. So maybe they're trying to go for a more Japanese palate with Godzilla Energy. But yeah, a ton of caffeine and all the other kind of homeopathic, whatever the kind of herbal ingredients that all of the other energy drinks have. It's okay. Yeah. Wow. I thought it was going to be much, much worse. I was really anticipating. It's a kind of a gross yellow. I guess that's similar to Red Bull. I think Red Bull's a kind of a sickly yellow color. But it's okay. I don't know if getting through this whole can is going to be possible. It's quite, it's quite a taste. But yeah, it's interesting. I thought for sure it was going to be imitating more of the Western brands, but I think energy drinks originally were an Asian thing, especially like Southeast Asia, because there's and in Japan they're in these little brown glass bottles. I guess Japan and Korea have tonics, like little vitamin shots and little caffeine and vitamin shots to kind of get you through your workday. So that kind of that after lunch slump in energy that you feel. And then I think it was a German guy that took, found Red Bull in Thailand and kind of ran with it, and then it became imitated a lot. But yeah, weird. So it's okay as a knockoff brand. I've had some of Cheerios' other kind of imitation, and they're pretty undrinkable. They're pretty strange. But I guess I do remember them being weak. Like the flavor is much weaker. So maybe that's kind of their thing, is to take a familiar flavor and make it less more drinkable, less flavorful. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. I think the flavor of and surprisingly though, Monster tastes very sweet for what a lot of stuff in Japan is. Yeah, I was stuck that Okinawa Comic Con. I was stuck with access. If I walked away from my table, the only thing that was in reach of me was a funnel cake stand and a vending machine with those giant like 500, or I guess they were like 700 milliliter these huge tumblers of Monster Energy. So I was pretty messed up, having no lunch but funnel cakes and Monster Energy. I was pretty in pretty bad shape. Yeah, but the interesting thing about the name Godzilla, the name of the character Godzilla, is actually it's not. It was just an attempt. It's not like this English bastardization of the Japanese name. It's actually an attempt to just say the Japanese version of the name. So when you adapt Japanese sounds phonetically into Roman characters, into the Roman alphabet, there's a couple of different systems for doing it. I think there's like a British way and a more American way, and so the spellings vary a little bit. So when you're typing those, and that comes up a lot when you're using a QWERTY keyboard to input Japanese. Sometimes I think both of the spellings are usually, both systems are accepted, because there's a lot of selecting when you're entering things on a keyboard. There's a lot of selecting the spelling and the kanji characters. But Gojira is the Japanese. It's the three sounds, but the go is there, and then the DZ is G. G is the J's is basically how in some systems you would write a J sound. So DZ is G, basically, and Ida is just spelling it with L's, because the L and R sound is basically interchangeable. So it's phonetically as close as possible. So it's not like someone in Hollywood or whatever thought they would come up with some meaning. So the word doesn't have any meaning. It just like luckily looks like a weird spelling between gorilla and god or whatever, or lizard, I guess. It just luckily has that weird spelling that looks like it could be gorilla lizard or something strange like that. But it's actually just a phonetic representation of the sound that they made for Godzilla. And I think Godzilla was originally gorilla. I forget the two Japanese words that they kind of mashed together, the portmanteau, kind of simplify them to make that sound. But yeah, so Goji is the nickname, especially for the suit. Like every time they have they make one of those rubber suits, which I don't think they're going to do anymore. But that's the funny thing about the name itself. Yeah, this energy drink is nothing to write home about, but I love the old retro art. I mean, this is like 90s, this is like 30-year-old, 30-something-year-old artwork that they're putting. But I guess that's, they do that with Ultraman too. You get like images from the 60s TV shows on cans. But there's no series. This wasn't a series of different images to collect them all or anything. But yeah, it's a weak imitation, but the caffeine will do me good during the stream, so I figured I would try it, and yeah, I wanted to do it up front instead of at the end because this warm I think would be brutal because the the aspartame or whatever is at the end is already pretty bad and it's pretty cold. So, and let me while I have the internet here, let me look up who that is. I know. I know that I've seen this before. I know this. It's like Horribolus or something. That the enemy is. Yeah, it has a kind of a silly name. Oh, and there's no good. Wow, you would think that the internet would be full of resources for everything Godzilla ever fought. Was Heisei Godzilla a villain? Yeah, that's the funny thing that they've kind of fluctuated between is come on, abilities. Wow, there is nothing that gives you a good series of oh, don't make me go to the library behind me. Yeah, so that's not Space Godzilla. That's Destroya. That's right. Destroya. I should have remembered that. I named a character in a comic strip that. Yeah, so that this thing, which starts out as like a small. I think there's like a smaller. I think it starts out like more human size and grows, and yeah, Destroya. That's right. So a giant, and this might be the one where he does like overheat. That's right. Yeah, a new monster introduced in that era. Destroya. I knew it was going to be something clever like that. All right. So we'd have Godzilla look up. We're basically, yeah. So this was a vending machine find, and the summer is usually full of that stuff. So Godzilla Energy. All right. So let's get to the drawing part. Yeah, they've kind of given that up. There used to be, and maybe just because there's a lot more competition for space in the vending machines, but they gave up doing the kind of summer special where there'd be collections of character cans and things. You'll see it more with snacks, maybe because it's cheaper. They'll do a lot of character branding and things for kids cookies and chocolate bars and things in the grocery store. But there used to be a series of every summer there would be a series of heroes, or like Power Rangers or Kamen Rider or something. But oh yeah, as it's getting warmer, it's getting less drinkable. But I'm surprised it's pretty mild in flavor. Usually they have to make those the flavor a little bit crazier just to cover up the all the stuff that's in there that doesn't taste very good together. Yeah, that's a funny. That's funny how energy drinks took off and how they. Well, I think though what happened was Red Bull paid a lot of money because essentially the European guy that brought Red Bull to the West, he basically took one of those like tonic drinks that he ran into at an airport, like at a layover in Thailand. He took one of those drinks and just took that recipe and only focused on the marketing. And I think that in Thai, it even did the brand that he bought did translate into Red Bull, and they just changed the package, the look of the package, to have that more iconic look. But the company itself doesn't manufacture the drink. They leave it to like kind of third party manufacturers to actually can the Red Bull itself, because they don't really care. They have this recipe. They said just make this stuff, and it doesn't change or evolve. I guess they did the occasional, they'll have some alternative flavors, but they just have the sugar free and the Red Bull, and they just leave it to third parties to deal with actually making it, and the company itself just focuses on the marketing. So they went with the whole sponsoring sports teams and race cars and all of the typical stuff that needs sponsorship. But then they also dumped it into, I guess, like in the late 90s, started dumping it into clubs and having promotions or telling bartenders to use it as a mixer, like it's this ultimate mixer. And so they created that whole highly caffeinated vodka intoxicated crowd from that kind of thing. But I think that was all just due to promotion. They were just like trying to force their way into markets. And because it was an energy drink, they went for a sports, kind of identity and sponsored a lot of sports events and did a lot of giveaways at sporting events. And then they also went into clubs and told bartenders to mix it with things, which I don't think was ever a good idea. But it's weird how it was just kind of stuck into places. It didn't, like, a lot of that stuff naturally evolves, like especially mixers and things show up because a bartenders are experimenting, or he kind of invents something, whereas this was just like the company saying, here's all this drink, put some vodka in it and sell it. Because somebody was just telling me that they were in Jamaica. I think I heard it on a podcast. They were in Jamaica and they did some really horrible thing. They were still using Red Bull, and they did some really horrible mixer with Red Bull and something. They said, "Oh, this is what we drink here." Just trying to convince the stupid tourist that was a regular drink. It sounded really foul. I can't remember, but it was like Red Bull and something. Oh, it was like Jaeger. Was it like Jaeger and Red Bull and something creamy? It was really weird. Yeah, and it didn't sound very Caribbean. But obviously they'd been given a bunch of something for free, but they were still using Red Bull as a mixer. I think that's kind of died out in the U.S. But it sounded really foul. But who knows? All right. Yeah, that's the and it's funny too. So that came from Asia. That whole energy drink idea came from Asia, and then it just makes its way back. That's really odd. Like I noticed that like things like the Powerpuff Girls, that TV show on Cartoon Network. That's the giant-eyed little superhero girls, like little magically superhero girls. So kind of like a Power Rangers, Sailor Moon kind of mashup thing. But it's definitely like it's done in a parody style. But that was created, inspired by Japanese anime, and then it makes it back to Japan, and it's popular here. So the parody of Japanese culture can also be popular in Japan. That kind of thing is so bizarre. Just how things get kind of reflected back and forth. So this the energy drink is kind of like that as well. It's something that for the very hardworking office workers, they kind of created to keep people at it. Because coffee, I don't think was quite as popular, and maybe people's stomachs weren't up for it. But I don't think coffee really took off. Like strong coffee, like espresso drinks, really took off in Japan until Starbucks kind of popularized it. And I didn't think anybody would drink Starbucks here, because there's so many cafe, tea cafes, so many cafes that serve like milk tea and things. So I thought for sure. So both the iPhone and Starbucks are shocking to me that they became popular here. But my little bit of experience, like dealing with Japanese customers for the gallery, is that Japanese people have this interesting, like you can tell them what they like. And I think Japanese companies are very good at that, but they don't have really strong opinions. And so you can basically tell them, oh, you like this is you, this is your style or whatever. And they're very easily convinced to like something. So if you say something is, popular, and that happens in the U.S. too, but this is popular in this country, or is popular for young people or old people or whatever, they go for it pretty much. It just feels so dishonest, and especially when I was selling like art and illustrations and goods and stuff I didn't want to. But I guess that probably is a thing. Anyhow, it just feels weird. I'm not much of a merchant, not much of a salesman, but there is definitely a skill to making people believe they like something or this is their taste. That was very surprising to me. But that happens here, I think, a lot. And you'll see that. That's an odd thing that maybe surprises people at clothing stores and places where they're going to have some trendier kind of like seasonal and changing items, especially like women's clothing stores, like the little kind of boutique stuff. They will literally have a magazine open in a display, so they'll have mannequins or a table full of some sort of clothing item or accessory, and then they'll have a magazine open to the page where someone has said this is popular. To like document, to have a second source, like a source confirming that yes, in fact, someone has said this is popular. So a lot of the like young fashion magazines will be used in the clothing stores to show, yeah, this is the trend to now buy this, and it's very transparent. It's very funny how like weirdly obvious and yeah, I don't know. It's a different aesthetic, and I was really shocked by the obvious brutal capitalism that is involved in just like, here's the trend, buy this now. Yeah, so of course, then Japan is really a good market for fast fashion as well, because they literally, there's a lot of people that are aware at once, kind of. Have that kind of personality. So, yeah, I've got to try a bigger variety of things here. Boxes are usually the warm-up, but I don't want to have too many boxes. Every single cartoon is just a series of boxes. Yeah, but that feels very odd. But it's also because a lot of you're kind of trained socially to not have a very strong opinion here, because it can be hard for other people. Like if you have a strong opinion and you'll defend it, or you'll keep expressing it to people, it may make some people uncomfortable. So the kind of general rule is to not have strong opinions. So you'll see that in when groups of friends go to restaurants and things. Whoever orders first usually sets the menu for the entire table. So it's very common that, especially if it's somebody, like if they're the reason, like it's going out for their birthday or something, if they have some different kind of status in the group, whatever they order, everyone else will just say the same, because that's very easy. And then no one's going to be like, oh, is that good? I shouldn't have ordered this. So everyone has the same probably meal that they don't like at a restaurant. But it's so you're just encouraged to not cultivate a strong kind of independent opinion. But of course people do, because there is there are designers and fashion industry people and all sorts of media people that obviously have to come up with things. But that also might explain why Japan is such a and they kind of say this about all of Asia, but they kind of imitate a lot of things. They'll be inspired and just kind of copy things, because they're not encouraged to have strong original opinions. So, this is popular, so we'll do something like this because this sort of thing is popular. And I think that just it doesn't come from their not creative people, and they just want to steal something and copy it, which feels more like the case with the manufacturing part of China. But I think all of Asia takes that rap, and I think it's just because they're more like about pleasing a group and pleasing an audience, And if they see something's popular, well, we should do that because that's popular, not, concerned with, copyright and trademark and patent as much because they're just trying to satisfy a market. But I think that must come from that aesthetic of not, and it also is probably financially more safer. It's a safer bet if something was popular somewhere else that you can adapt it, and they do often kind of Japanify things to make them to fit the aesthetic here, or to fit the palette or the tastes here more, because there are definitely Japanese aesthetics. Well, that's way too deep. There are Japanese aesthetics that are different from other Asian tastes and things. There are weird. Japan's a very weird combination of kind of a very muted Chinese aesthetic with like a Pacific Island taste. Yeah, so it's very different from other cultures in that way. But all right, I said I'm not doing boxes, and I'm just doing boxes. Yeah, so there's a weird combination there, and maybe somewhere between, art and industry that does get lost. There's just greedy business owners that just want to take shortcuts in the creative process and kind of the R&D of things. But I do think that comes from a cultural aesthetic of just kind of matching the room, feeling the room out, and trying to match the taste or tone of what other people are thinking, and not so there are, like, you'll see that in anime and manga and stuff. There's very original ideas and original thinking and aesthetics here, but there is also a lot of imitation. Yeah, so who knows? The truth is somewhere in the middle. What was that? Oh, I was thinking, yeah, that's not gonna read as anything. All right, let's try bottles or something. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be the rainy season is already over. It's never ended this early before, and it's already getting brutally hot to the point where people are already having a heat stroke, and there's been a lot of heat emergencies. So there'll be a lot of ambulances this summer as people try to do outdoor events, and this is kind of the first year in a few that the tourists are coming back, and Japan's going to try to return to a little bit of normal summer activity, but it's bad timing with it being so hot and humid, because that means there's going to be a lot of health emergencies, a lot of people fainting at parks and things. So we'll see how that plays out. Of course that's how it is. Yeah. Finally, things start to get back to normal, and they get miserable. Yeah, but this is definitely a place that hot and humid is how summer always goes. And people are saying they don't remember as a kid things being so hot, but I think you tolerate things differently as a kid. You don't have memory of insane temperatures and things as much. But it's going to be rough as the trains get more crowded and people are not telecommuting and stuff. Having hot, crowded trains in the summer is never fun. And the summer holiday is very short here. A lot of students just have a couple of weeks, and at the most you have the month of August for summer vacation, so there won't be much relief from the crowded commuting trains. Yeah. I don't know why I'm drawing lopsided bottles. I think I gotta tilt my my drawing surface a little bit. Oh, is it on camera? Nope. Yeah, that might help. Yes, I hope it's not too unreasonable where you are. Matt was saying that they were in the 40s, I think, Celsius, and no electricity. So that sounds insane. So there's not even an electric fan. So hopefully California doesn't have one of those rolling blackout summers because of their energy troubles. We'll see. Yeah, and they're talking about all of Asia is basically burning coal to make electricity. So all of this nonsense, all of this lip service to green solutions and electric cars and everything. Yeah, you drive your electric car and power it with coal-generated electricity. I don't think that's going to solve anything. I don't think that's going to help the world in any way. But yeah, they said a lot of Asia is resorting to coal manufactured electricity because in Japan they turned off a lot of their power plants, their nuclear power plants, because of the disaster, the Fukushima plant meltdown. There's a lot of protests every time they turn off a power plant for maintenance. Then the reactors, then they have trouble turning them back on because the protests are very heavy. Although I think they have secretly, Japan can be a little sneaky, and I think they have secretly done that in some instances where they know it's safer, because like the eastern coast of the main island does have horrible storms and can have tsunami much easier based on the active kind of earthquake area, so it's much less protected. But the northern kind of northwestern part is more sheltered, I guess because the shape of the land, and that sea is much more tranquil, so they don't have the tidal wave, the tsunami, and they don't have bad storms. The storms and things aren't so bad, and I think the earthquakes aren't even there's not the same fault lines or whatever in that area. So I think when those turned off, they turned those back on. Because I thought the risk was less. And hopefully it's newer. That was the same thing that was so frustrating about that whole disaster. It was like these out-of-date, cheap, the American technology that Japan bought and that betrayed them. Because there probably isn't any part of America geographically that's similar to Japan as far as, a small, vulnerable island with a lot of earthquakes, and so yeah, it just didn't match very well, and was kind of old, out of date technology. And of course then that whole nightmare happened, and it was very similar to Katrina in New Orleans. It was just like something they never expected would get to would ever be that bad, and it would never break the sea walls or the breaking walls or whatever they had in whatever gave way during Katrina. It's that same sort of thing. They never thought they would have an earthquake that bad, followed by a tsunami that bad, and just a perfect, literally a perfect storm of the worst situation. And then having vulnerable nuclear power plants there. Yeah, that's crazy. All right. Yeah, what else? I guess I'll just keep trying something. But I saw that John was finally using the logo that K5 asked me to do the Omegle. I don't know how to say it. Omegle with John's head as the O. I saw that was on one of the streams. That's cool. I'm glad that got some use. That was really fun to make. And I sent that to them on the Hyphonics Instagram, but I think it also went up on the Reddit. That's probably where they found it. Yeah, it's weird. Instagram has that chat, and nobody ever uses it. Like, I've written messages to people there, and they've never seen them. I don't think they notify very well. Or maybe it's a thing where it just, like, it times out, like, the notification. If you miss it, you know, the first time it's shown, you'll never see it again. So it's not unless you are regularly going into the messages, the direct messages. It's not chat, it's direct messages. Yeah, so just stay inside. And of course, because they're burning coal to make electricity, the price of energy is going up pretty significantly. In Japan, it was already super high. Like, nobody can mine Bitcoin in Japan. There's just no way the math works. Like, you can't. Your graphics card can never be fast enough and stay cool enough to actually make that a profitable. You would have to steal the energy to make any profit from mining Bitcoin in Japan. Power is so expensive here. I think it's like, I remember when we were first here and I did the equivalent, because they use different units. They use odd units and stuff, I guess metric. And it was like 4 times what we were paying in the US per like kilowatt hour or whatever whatever I had to translate between. And gasoline's about that too. It's pretty. So when people are talking about $10 gas, it's like, yeah, we've had $10 gas forever. We also have tiny cars. Well. That's right, Godzilla versus Destroyer. Yeah, I mostly like the old Showa. You know, they got a little cheesy and they got, made for kids, but I like the older 60s. I like all the stuff in the 60s in Japan, but the old 60s Japanese Godzilla movies. 60s and early 70s. It's funny, and that just kind of disappeared and came back in the 90s. Yeah, it's weird. It's how cyclical it is, and how Toho, the studio that owns it, they just wait. And the reason that they did a few properties that they licensed it out a few times. There was like a Netflix animated series, which was pretty terrible. It was that terrible CG, cel-shaded CG stuff. And then there was a weird anime series that was using the characters, but what did I just do here? Jesus. But it was mostly just bizarre. Okay, well, whatever that was, I just what's going on here? Okay, so this stopped. I love that when you can just like make some little, you can twitch something here and suddenly nothing works the same again. Oh, so bizarre. Yes, and now I lost my little icon menu. Yeah, Photoshop is like really good at doing that. There we go. So somehow I did some command that turned everything, it expanded all the menus. But now the menus are totally different. Where's my, God. That's so goofy. Oh, it's up here now. There's my layers. Yeah, it's so... I've done that so often. It's really bad if you in some software like After Effects or Premiere or something where there's really complicated, like deep features, and you'll do some accidental keyboard shortcut that just like puts now like there's a weird red line in the middle of your editing, and just like, okay, what's this? What did I do? And you have to go look up what that is and how you could have accidentally turned that on, or yeah, because there's all kinds of weird features, especially for the video editing and audio, to just like mark things and put time code, to just do little indications to kind of speed up editing. But if you don't use that regularly, you can easily accidentally use it by hitting the wrong key at the wrong time, and you have to undo whatever that is. Yeah, the thing I don't miss in Photoshop is that stupid 3D thing that they had for a while. I guess they were trying to, I don't know, just make it easy to do simple 3D, but you could, there was a shortcut and then also a tiny little button that was near something that you often clicked and it would change the flat plane that you're working on into this 3D workspace, and it took forever, of course, to switch into that, and there was no obvious way about how to turn it off. And so suddenly this picture that you're drawing is at this like 3/4 perspective, like isometric angle in a 3D space, and like, okay, great. Now what the hell do I do? It was like opening a PDF on the internet in the 90s. It's just like this memory bomb that slowed your whole system down. Brutal. All right. So let's figure out something here. Yeah. All right. Yeah, they still have these little glass milk bottles here at schools. Mostly the like public elementary and junior high schools. I think because the milk companies are still pushing that, but that's nice. That's nice for coffee, to like actually put real milk in your coffee, like whole milk in your coffee from a glass bottle, as opposed to a stinking paper carton or some kind of weird plastic. All right, just keep going here. But yeah, so we'll see. Whoa. We'll see how this week goes. I'm a little worried about the temperatures. Yeah, it looked so many days like it was going to be one of those just like constant rain days, and it just wasn't. It would clear up and then just get brutally hot, and then it just gave up even trying to rain. I wonder what that means for the typhoon season. So at the end of summer in September is the typhoon season, and they literally come like one after another, and luckily, because it's a small island, a lot of them miss the Japanese archipelago. But when they hit, they're pretty brutal, and they can make it like all the way across, before they even change into a tropical storm, because it's not a very big land mass. So that can always be scary. So most houses and things here have big metal shutters on them, similar to like the security shutters for a store in a downtown area. But you put those on because the branches and stuff go flying during just the high wind, and even if you don't get hit by the actual storm itself, the winds are pretty brutal. So you have a lot of smashed windows if you didn't put down these big metal shutters. They must have stuff like that in Florida too. Sure, like newer houses, they've probably figured out if it faces a certain direction, instead of having to put boards over your windows, just have steel shutters or screens or something they can put up, be like barred screens to protect the glass. Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of... No, I'm not, there's no way I'm going to be able to remember what something like this looks like. I was going to try to do like an old electric can opener. But that's too long ago. Isn't that amazing? Like, Americans, probably some other countries too, but eat so many things from cans that you would have at one time, like on the counter, you would have a plugged-in electric can opener because you open cans every time you cook something. That's insane. And then it kind of switched to like frozen things into microwaves, but I can remember as a kid, can opener was always sitting there. Yeah, I can't remember what it looked like. Something like that. Oh, but it had a there was the magnet. There was a little part. So there was the wheel that the wheel that cut the can, and then there was that little like dangling magnet on the top that grabbed the lid. Once it was done, I don't remember. No one's even gonna know. Actually, with the age of my audience on Go Comics, everyone will know what that's like. All right. Nice. Oh, hey K5, how's it going? Oh no, Nintendo World's first anniversary. Oh, there we go. So Super Nintendo World's first, come on, website. Coca-Cola Slim bottles. Yeah, that something weird happened to the sizes of Coke bottles in Japan. Nice. Okay, yes. Good popping up. Coca-Cola have a special contest. Oh, we just missed it. Where fans who purchase Coca-Cola products will have a chance to win tickets. All right. Wow, nothing is working on this website. Great. There's a video for the Overwatch beta. Overwatch 2 beta. Okay. Please stop. There's so many ads playing on this site. Okay. Yeah, there's no pictures related to the... Oh, there it is. Finally. Wow, that took a long time. Oh, yeah, the metal bottles. Yeah, so talking about the slim bottles, something weird happened where it used to always be... what is it? The 500 milliliter was very standard. That's half a liter. That's not it. That's pretty big. I guess 300 or 350 was a standard bottle size, and now it's a 500 and a like 200. So there's either too small or too big Coca-Cola bottles, the plastic kind of pet bottles, in Japan. So yeah, these look like those slim bottles. So these tiny bottles that are less than 300 milliliters. So they're a little bit less than a regular bottle size, and the two options are too much and not enough. So almost a liter and then much less than a regular bottle. Interesting. I'm sure people are collecting those. Oh, that's right. In the first year, first anniversary. For Super Nintendo, will be sold at participating retailers. Yeah, I haven't seen those in the stores. Maybe they're getting grabbed up. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I wonder what Universal Studios is going to know. Is going to do with with the tourists coming back. Nice. Yeah, I'll see if I can find those. Yeah, because I usually they don't do the they don't do the metal bottle, so only like for special occasions. Oh, and I didn't. Yeah, I should have. Or maybe I had one of those on the air because they've come out a few years in a row. But the kind of metallic label that the plastic Coke bottles have on them at Christmas time, they do this strange thing where there's this clear tab that you can pull on the label, and it takes the whole label and like turns it into a bow. So you have this metallic red and silver bow on the Coca-Cola bottle. So if they do that again this year, I'll definitely try to do one of those on stream. I think I might have tried that. That sounds familiar. But they've had them a few years in a row now, and you just you pull these weird tabs on the Coca-Cola label itself, and it kind of like crunches into this label. Oh, yeah, my daughter likes stuff like that, so I usually try to when they do promotional stuff, especially like for Nintendo, she loves Nintendo stuff. So I look for stuff for her like that. Yeah, and sometimes I get suckered into what was the there was something like some Evangelion. Like when I was first in Japan, there was like some Evangelion like something that they came out with several different packages. So sometimes I do. More in the past because I'm starting to deal with the realities of limited living space in Japan. So it's much tinier. But that's cool. Yeah, and usually those show up in the stores, like the convenience stores and stuff promote that stuff pretty hard. So I'm surprised that I haven't seen those Nintendo bottles yet because they were just from last month. So yeah, that's cool. Thanks, K5, for bringing that up. Yeah, they had what did they do for a while? They had names. Like Coca-Cola does a lot of that stuff in Japan, so they have in Christmas time they have the ribbon, and they put common Japanese names on the bottles. Maybe they did that in the U.S. too. They put first names on the bottle, so you'd look through the the rack for your name on a Coca-Cola bottle or can or whatever. So yeah, they do kind of goofy promotion stuff like that a lot in Japan. Yeah, and then I think they did a national soccer team, like during World Cup or something. They did a national soccer team, like all the faces of the players on bottles for people to collect. Yeah, but Japan loves that collectible stuff. There's so much blind box kind of collectible stuff here where it's randomly in boxes. A lot of snacks and stuff will do that. Oh yeah, space flavored. That's right. Space flavor. Yeah, I wonder. I haven't seen Coke doing anything except for that weird size change. That's really maybe I'll show that on stream sometime. But how weird that is. Now there's a tiny bottle and a really big bottle, and it's not quite a liter, so it must be like 700 or something. And the other one is less than regular, so it must be like 250 or something. Very strange. And I'm wondering what the idea is with that. Because it seems to make the most sense, especially for the recycling of those polyethylene bottles, is to have things be a standard size, and it's not in the machines. It's just in the machines. You can still get the regular size. In the grocery stores, they don't have the vending machine size. Maybe it's to encourage people to use vending machines. I don't know. Yeah, so now that standard size is not in the grocery stores anymore. Very weird. No idea what they are thinking. Or maybe they just, they're trying to go after an older audience that just can't drink that much Coca-Cola anymore. And then the younger audience that's fiending for larger sizes. Who knows? It's probably just they can charge the same size for the smaller one and then double for the bigger one. And, it just makes they can do a price hike kind of invisibly. You don't understand that you're paying more. Yeah, the taxis around here just did that. They used to have a two kind of levels of taxi, like an economy taxi, which would always be like yellow or white, and then the black cabs, the black taxi cabs were always the standard, a little bit more expensive. So there's about like a 50 cent difference or whatever from when you get in the cab. But now they made them both the same price. So the expensive cabs became cheaper, the cheap cabs became more expensive for some reason. But it was a fare increase, and they hit it because they shortened. I think the first time that the fare jumps up was like at 1.5 kilometers or something, and they shortened it to 1 kilometer. So you actually pay more to go not as far, but it's hidden in that price reduction. So the price went down a little bit, up a little bit for the cheap cabs, which doesn't make sense. But I think maybe they're phasing out those cheaper cabs because they were usually the older ones, like older, smaller cars. But it was so I was surprised. I got in a cab and it was cheaper than usual. Like, well, that's amazing. And then I ended up paying more to go the same distance. Like, oh, I see what you did. Yeah, that's a very Japanese style. Yeah, that happened to. Yeah, very, very scammy. The that happened with Starbucks. So when they did the sales, they call it consumption tax, but it's basically sales tax. So when they did a sales tax increase in Japan, the law was before that all prices had to be shown including tax. But when the sales tax went up, the companies didn't print signs or what. They didn't know the date of, it was very little warning when this stuff was going to happen. It was like 3 months out or whatever. So a lot of the companies didn't raise prices or anything. They just said, we're going to add, the 5%, or like it was like the 3% that it went up. We're just going to add that. And then that meant that they started to be able to get away with not showing the real price. And so when they finally reprinted the signs, they reprinted all the signs not showing the tax included. And then by that time, the tax was up to 10%. It went from 5 to 8 to 10 pretty quickly. And by that time, then they, weren't showing you the price with the tax included. So it looked like prices went down a little bit, but actually that was because they used to include the tax. And then they were more expensive than ever. So yeah, Japanese companies love that little trick. Oh, it looks cheaper, but not. It's funny too. I was talking to one of my students that's about my same age, and they were saying that they can remember. So now the coins, the denominations of coins are, there's a 100 coin and a 100 yen coin and a 500 yen coin. But back in the 70s, there were bills, like a dollar bill, basically, and it's always been worth less than a dollar, but a dollar bill. But the size of the bill was more like the size of a ruble bill, if you've ever seen like the smaller, like Russian bills. So like Monopoly money, more like Monopoly money size. So initially, when they started to do different denominations, the more value, higher value that the bill had, the bigger it was. So the $100 bill, the 10,000 yen bill, was really big, and then they got gradually smaller until you got to the dollar bill, which was a little thing, and that was before the vending machine boom in Japan. So then they started doing coins and switching over. And it's cool because, Japan has a $5 coin. It's pretty cool for vending machines. So, but that used to be a bill, and they would just get gradually smaller until they looked like little kid money. But, yeah, that had to be strange in your wallet to have, like, money all different sizes. I guess it would be easier to... You would never go for the wrong bill if they were different sizes. You would never take out a 20 when you wanted a 5. But at the same time, that seems like the smaller ones could get, more easily lost or whatever. But yeah, I'll try to. I have a $5 bill, which doesn't exist anymore, around here, so you can see the size. I want to get one of the old $100 bills, but I don't think there's any of those around except for maybe collectors. But it's so funny because it's such a standard coin size here. So 100 yen coin feels like a quarter here, and actually that's at the arcade machines, the video, the game machines in Japan take 100 yen coins. They've never like really taken 50 yen coins or whatever. So always video games were very expensive in Japan because you're putting $1 in just to get started, as opposed to quarters. So it wasn't a quarter eater; it was a dollar eater. For like Street Fighter or whatever. Which is very, very different investment. But yeah, I'll try. I'll look for the my little collection, and they've changed the milling of coins and stuff as well. The milled edges and things, pretty consistently. All right. So something like that. I don't know if I'm going to even use that. But yeah, I guess that always has to be, because America has always battled with trying to have a dollar coin, which would be great for vending machines. A $5 coin would be even better. But I think before that is even that ever happens, it's just going to become all cashless anyhow. There's no point in minting and creating different kinds of coins anymore, because machines are just going to take some sort of cashless. Put your smartphone against it and pay for things. So no coins ever needed again, which is very strange. It's going to be weird when everything's electronic and people are like sticking a gun in your face and making you like, holding your phone up to unlock your phone, or putting your thumb on the it's going to be weird. What was that real, or was that some silly, I think it might have been some sci-fi story or something, but yeah, I wondered if people are going to be using severed heads to do face recognition eventually, or at least thumbs, cut off thumbs to get into things. Yeah, that had to be some sort of stupid movie. Oh. All right. So, I didn't make the oh no, I did, but I saved as. Brilliant. Let's see here. So 30. There we go. Yeah, I just saved as. Yep. Brilliant. All right. There we go. Yeah, definitely. That'll definitely be a gimmick in a movie. And probably start happening in reality too, because, if people are desperate enough, they're going to do whatever they need to do to, open things and unlock things. And yeah, that's the weird thing they're not considering with biometric, is then it makes, if it's just a number, just like a PIN code, then that's, information that you can give somebody to, say, okay, go away, quit menacing me with a gun. But if it's your finger or face that opens something, it's like, okay, now they have a reason to, cause you more harm. I don't know. Yeah, I'm surprised how many times in like more recent, like in the last 10 years or whatever, in murder cases and stuff, they have Fitbit in Fitbit data. And so they know the time. This is so morbid. They know the time when someone's heart stops beating, because their little bracelet stops giving them a heartbeat. So they literally know. So why would you kill somebody while they're wearing like an Apple Watch or a Fit? That has to be the first thing you have to do, is take off all of their wearable technology. But that's insane that they know the moment when they stop getting a heartbeat, a device stopped getting a heartbeat, which I guess could mean that it was taken off. But a lot of the times they represent it in court as this is the last heartbeat that we recorded. Uh, yeah, maybe like an ice cream, like a little pint of ice cream. Something. But yeah, that's weird how there's so many unintended consequences for weird technology. I can make another tofu ice cream joke. Right. Something. Yeah, what did I... Oh, I watched the... on HBO Max, I got a... maybe I should admit this. I streamed a VPN. Running, finally. I finally found one that can handle HBO Max. So I've been watching stuff on HBO Max and saw the Blade Runner Black Lotus, the whole series. Actually, I haven't finished it yet. It's weird. It's like 13 episodes or something. So I've got 2 more episodes to watch. I got to do that. But I originally got confused because there's a free thing that they posted on YouTube that was maybe promoting the 2049 movie. And then they did some anime that was the events of the blackout, the destruction of the database, so that they lost track of who was a replicant and who was a human. But I was watching that Black Lotus, and it's done by a Japanese animation studio, but it's done that kind of cheap 3D. It looks okay. It doesn't have any of that noir lighting and stuff. Like, they could have easily, with 3D, got a good lighting director and done interesting noir lighting for the scenes, and it would have added a lot to the show. But it's a Japanese studio, so the main characters are all Japanese. And of course, the main character is a young girl with a katana. Like, it's so, cliche Japanese, but made by Japanese. So it's a little less terrible when it's people being cliche with their own culture, with their own pop culture. But the story's a little more interesting than I thought it was. It doesn't make any sense, like, in the world of the movies, but there's a little more suspense and stuff, and they added this idea of like convincing replicants that they were produced for what they were calling, this one false memory that this replicant had was of a doll hunt. So basically they made these young people dolls, young people replicants, to just hunt them. And but it was, I think it was a false, an implanted memory that the one character had. But they're trying to add things to the thing that's silly about Blade Runner is it's such a small. It's literally Los Angeles, in the 21st century. So it's not. It's not a huge setting. It's not a huge world. I mean, they do suggest in the film like a moon colony and off-world colonies. They suggest that. Oh yeah, do one of those little taster spoons. But that hasn't ever been depicted in a film or TV. So it's a very limited setting. So, and the reason I was thinking about it and watching this stuff is there's an RPG now. There's a tabletop RPG of Blade Runner, and it's just an investigation game, and it's very limited to Los Angeles. But I was thinking that's just like the films. So there's certain things that have been added. Like in the second film, they added the breaker wall. I guess they had in the future insane sea level rises. So there's a Sepulveda breaker wall, which is this giant, like the tallest structure that keeps the ocean from consuming California. So there's like different locations and things that they added, and also kind of that Las Vegas-y kind of, I don't think it's Las Vegas, but it's just like a desert casino area that was in the second film. But a lot of the characters, and I'm surprised so there's basically the first movie, based on the book that doesn't really have much connection to the book, the PC game that came out in the 90s. The second movie, which is very different, has some of the same types of elements, but is very different in like it's evolved. It's a different corporation, and you know the replicants are different and everything, and they're having babies, and they're trying to connect that, taking pieces from all of those three things and putting them together to make a like a world for Blade Runner, and it's very odd. I'm surprised how much stuff from the PC game made it into the RPG. It's very odd. But the Black Lotus was better than I thought. I thought it was just a little short. And I think I saw a trailer for it. And when I saw the little Asian girl in ripped tights with a katana and like not Doc Martens, Chuck Taylor's, I was just like, okay, yeah, whatever. That looks very, very cliche. But the story was much better, much more original and better than that. And it involves the Jared Leto character, a young version of the Jared Leto character from 2049. Which was, what's going on here? Which was surprising. So that's this and this. No. Alright. So let's just put this up at the top so I can find it. But the stuff that it added, that character does, is kind of weird. Doesn't make a lot of sense. It makes sense in an anime, but you know, in Japanese anime terms, but it kind of fucks up the continuity of the second movie. Yeah, and that second movie introduced like a replicant resistance, you know, like some hidden replicants that are fighting for something. So I don't know, and it's like it feels a little bit like Star Wars. Like there's not much there, so there's not very far they can go. So as an IP, it's, you know, it's like a licensed IP. It's not really that valuable. I don't know. We're getting so much of that recently. Something like that. A little plastic spoon. I've got all my snap grids on here for some reason. Probably a keyboard shortcut that I accidentally hit. Alright, so maybe electric can opener's not going to make it. Anything? Yeah, that's right. It was the number of episodes on that series was strange, so I stopped. The weird thing that they did, though, so the original Blade Runner, the Final Cut Blade Runner, is on HBO Max, and they did a weird introduction where this woman at a Hollywood fashion museum is introducing the movie, and I don't know, it's very odd. I don't get it. So just this like fashion woman is like, oh, the costuming, I think because maybe they won a costume Oscar or something. So she introduces Blade Runner. Very odd. I'd prefer a film scholar than a tour guide for a Hollywood fashion museum, but whatever. Okay, so maybe no electric can opener. Bottle, can. So, yeah, a lot of really difficult things to draw. Like if I draw a corkscrew and a bottle opener and a can. Oh, and then I may, no, that's a very, that's a very long way to go for a child-proof cap joke. Do they still have those? I guess they must, right? The child-proof caps on the pill bottles. They should just make ones you unlock with your smartphone. Oh yeah, wow. I guess once most older people, the smartphones are not ubiquitous with the over 70 crowd, but that would make a lot of sense. You had to like use an app to open your medication, so nobody else would be opening your medication. There we go. There's my $1 million idea. I'm going to retire on that. An app where you put in your PIN code to get your medication. All right. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go with such a complicated. Yeah, I could fix this drawing and make it look a little bit more like a pill bottle. And this thing is too small. I think be a little bit bigger. Yeah, so this thing in the middle is supposed to be an electric can opener. Does anyone in chat has anyone in chat ever seen an electric can opener? Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, what else? Yeah, I don't think this is a great idea. I'll just keep drawing some other stuff. But yeah, I was just surprised how much good stuff was on HBO Max. Like stuff where if you wonder where did it go, like things that left Netflix or aren't on Amazon Prime. If you wonder where did it go, it's on HBO Max. And they do a terrible job of showing you. They just want to, of course, promote their new content. But they do a really terrible job of showing you everything that's on there, because it's like all the old Adult Swim stuff, every good HBO series that's ever been out, a lot of really good movies that you can't see anywhere else, like older stuff. Maybe only not Fox stuff, I think. I think, you know, Fox is now on Star here, but like Disney Plus. But yeah, surprisingly good, and surprisingly hard to get a VPN to work. I don't know why, but yeah, that's been nice. Yeah, now I just have too much streaming stuff to check. I felt deprived because so much stuff was not available in Japan, but now Japan has everything. Not HBO, but they have everything else. Yeah, the company that got the rights to all the HBO content in Japan is garbage. They have a streaming service where you have to buy not minutes, it's some kind of credits, and watching a show, watching some content is worth a credit. So you can have a subscription that gives you like 250 credits a month, but you have to do the translation or the conversion to see how much that is. It's really stupid, and they bundled it in with digital comics, like digital manga. It's really, really stupid. I really wish that company hadn't bid for the rights for like Sopranos and Deadwood and stuff. Because it'd be fun to have those on a better platform. Those were on Amazon Amazon Prime for a long time. They still make them, yes, the child-proof cats. Yeah, I haven't seen one in so long. Yeah, they don't do that at all here. They don't care at all about children. I guess because like the medicine's kind of just handled differently, and kids just wouldn't mess with, because there's so many like little envelopes of many tiny pills and little packets of powder and things. Like it's very different. It's less convenient and very different. So kids probably don't play with medicine. And it doesn't look like candy. It's very just like these brown powders and, you know, white, you know, 6 white tablets and stuff. So maybe kids, they don't look like candy and they don't taste good, so kids wouldn't mess with them. So they don't have to worry about that. It's just kids that want to hurt themselves that would mess with. And that's the kind of, in Asia, that's more of the idea, is medicine tastes bad. And if it didn't taste bad, it doesn't work. Like the bad taste means it's working, or it's effective. It has some benefit. I think that's a Chinese medicine aesthetic, but that's made it to Japan, where they, they expect it to taste bad. So there's no like bubblegum flavored antibiotics or anything in Japan. kids just suffer. You know, they do have like for kids, if they won't take things because they're bitter, like they can't, like a tablet, if they chew it, it's so bitter. They'll have like jellies and things to put it in that have some sweetness. So if you can't get kids to take certain tablets and things, they have they do have things that make it a little nicer, and maybe that's becoming more popular. All right, it's a really tall Coke bottle. Okay, so maybe just redraw a child-proof cap. Yeah, so it's very funny, and I guess it's just because the I'm sure just somebody, it was just a lawsuit. And then the companies had to start doing the of course, companies had to start doing the childproof caps because there were just a couple of incidences, just like how toys in the 70s couldn't shoot things anymore because some kid choked to death on a 2-inch plastic missile. All right. So I'm gonna just do a childproof cap on. I'll do the prescription bottle, so it's more recognizable. So what's the main character of this cartoon? The can opener or the I think I'm combining things a little too much here. Yeah, even the tilted drawing surface is not helping my symmetry. All right, so this should probably, I guess it could be that big. It doesn't look like a standard size. This should be bigger. Hey Robbie, how's it going? The caption, yeah, it's like that. It's like the New Yorker cartoon caption of the week. Yeah, no clear ideas here, just things being opened. Yeah, I probably shouldn't put an electric can opener in there. No one's going to know what that's supposed to be. I don't know. I guess it still works. Maybe I should do a thickening of the line. Why is everything running so slow? It's bizarre. Hey there, Original Ali. Thank you for the follow. Nice. I got to turn completely around. I got my monitor set up so poorly now. I got to turn completely around. Appreciate the follow. Thank you. And now I will find out. Oh, on Twitch. Thank you so much. Thank you. Nice. Yes. Robbie coming in with a good one there. Yeah, the alcohol had no childproof cap, which would make, yeah, that's funny. They where is it though? Doesn't I think like the big box like Walmart or those really giant stores that have liquor departments, they'll have, if they have the handles or the the big liquor bottles, they'll have a weird security cap on there, so you just can't open it and pound it in the aisle. I think I've seen that. Alright, I think that's a good size. Yes, corks. Corks are not easy. Yeah, but I think I've seen that. I don't know if it's still a thing, but once upon a time I remember seeing in the liquor department they had weird security caps that you couldn't get off of the larger bottles, so no one would do strange things in the store with them. So I think it's when they don't have a lot of. It's not a liquor store. It's like a liquor department in a large supermarket or kind of big box thing. All right. So, yeah, maybe we don't need the can opener if we talk about that's probably better. Yeah. I don't think anyone's going to know what an electric can opener is anymore. That's my hesitation here. Yeah, so let's do things that should have childproof caps. All right. That might work better. All right. Let's see how this goes. If I size things up. And then maybe get these closer to each other. All right. Something like that. Yeah, that should read as a wine bottle. Center this a little bit better. Sure. Pills, can openers, and alcohol. Essentials of life. Nice. Nice. Oh, Robbie, it said, I just got this Stream Elements update. You've been a follower for 9 months, 20 days, and 22 hours. Thank you. I don't know why it tells exactly how long Twitch followers have followed. Appreciate the follow for so long. All right. Yeah, let's try coloring this and make sure it reads correctly. Yeah, there we go. And maybe green glass for the wine. I can't go too dark or then you lose the eyes. Yeah. And then I'll put cola in the bottle, but maybe blue? Maybe like that. Okay. All right. Necessities of life. Yeah, I think I'd get some response for the electric can opener on Go Comics, but I don't think overall that's even a thing anymore. I think the microwave made cans less necessary. Oh, wait, let me do the cola first. I'm seeing all these weird, it's just, probably weird internet trends, but I'm seeing all these weird, I guess because you can't drink caffeinated drinks. Yeah, it must be. Caffeinated drinks in Mormon. I don't know if it's just coffee or if it's caffeine in general, but there's all these weird recipes for like fake cola and stuff because it's not allowed, I guess. I don't know much about Mormonism. But yeah, also all of these like Utah, Salt Lake City recipes for making your own Coca-Cola or whatever. It was very odd. I'm not sure what the trend was, and I don't know why that's showing up on my newsfeed. But it's possible. Yeah, I've probably met more Mormons in Japan than I ever did in the US. There's a lot of people that they have I forget what it's called, but they have their kind of evangelical internship. They're kind of study abroad time that all the younger Mormons do, and so I've met a lot in Japan, surprisingly. label on the other side. Alright. Huh, I'm looking a little small, but I think it works. Yeah, I think so, Robbie. Yeah, it's definitely something about caps. Caps not coming up. Oh, actually, I need labels on things, don't I? To make it read a little bit better. So we'll do a pill bottle. Or maybe in this side so the shadow goes over it. A little sharper. There we go. And then the wine bottle. Some maybe goldy type. Yeah, there we go. Guess it doesn't really need to be gold. That's not really a wine color. Yeah, but it reads okay. And maybe some wine in the bottle. So I can put it behind the label, so yeah, that might look good. Yeah, so I hope everyone is not getting sudden horrible summer weather wherever they are. Yeah, I guess was it France? The government was saying there was some kind of like labor protest or something going on, and the government was actually saying you shouldn't be protesting because they're having like a heat wave. The weather is not good, so stay inside and don't protest. Let's see what color I can get here. Oh yeah, something like that would be good. Alright, and maybe lighter. Oh. Yeah, maybe just do that. Alright. There we go. And yeah, I think this will work. The color sometimes saves these indistinct drawings. They start to look like something more recognizable. Oh. All right. We'll go with that. Now I can see if I can fit eyes on everything. Yeah, there's some really tiny bottles here, so. Yeah, that'll work. All right. Yeah, the cork and the lid are not gonna fit. Nice. They just couldn't take it. Yeah, that's right. You needed alcohol. Oh, it hit 90 in Seattle. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Oh, 3 poisons of the 90s. Oh, nice. Yeah, opioids, alcohol, and Coca-Cola. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder what's... if we're all going to be in for brutal summers. Yeah, they're anticipating a long, miserable summer here because we got a shortened rainy season. It's a little tinier than usual, but I think it'll work. So, yeah, it should work. Do I want maybe everything a little bit bigger? It seems like I'm losing some detail when it gets taken down, so we'll just go a little bit bigger. There we go. All right. And then the tiny plastic sample spoon. Yeah, like maybe that color pink. Yeah. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, the more subdued. Yeah, that works. And this one, maybe like a green. That might look interesting. Yeah, no, there's no way to do a web safe good light green, but blue, red. Yeah, maybe red would be actually the best contrast. I'll go with red. That's the, I always remember that as like the vitamin D color for some reason. Red. It's funny how each brand, I know that's such a prevalent thing, but how each brand of milk does their own color coding, where the packaging color means something different. It's so funny. That was like a 90s thing, right? When the dairy mafia, whatever, were pushing all those, doing all those milk ads. Like they must have had some slide in sales. They're having all the celebrities do the milk mustache, the Got Milk whole campaign. I wonder why they thought they had to do that. I'm sure it's probably well documented, the drop in sales. Trying to get people to go back to milk. So it was definitely a thing, like our parents' generation had that forced on them, but probably became less and less popular as people started eating turkey bacon and soy milk and oat milk and every other kind of milk was around. Alright, and I think I'll need some shininess on this plastic spoon. Maybe this too. So that needs a label, doesn't it? I'll just do something like light yellow or something. Yeah. Doing the same thing on both. Alright. Oh, and maybe the top here. This has a different color. Oh, and maybe the printing. Come on. Doesn't go all the way down, so something like that. Yeah, because always those cartons, the edges are not, they don't print like up to the edge. There we go. Yeah, that works. So sorry everyone that came later. I started off with the convenience store segment because I was drinking the this Godzilla Energy drink, so I didn't want it to get warm. So I kind of opened with the trying this brutal thing. Oh yeah, I'm so glad I didn't have to drink the whole thing warm. It's pretty bad. The fake sugar taste is, yeah, I can't even imagine like trying to drink a Diet Coke or something like room temperature. All you taste is the chemicals. Yeah, but that was so it's a company that kind of knocks off popular brands, and occasionally they'll get licenses. But I was surprised it was the old 90s Godzilla on the can, and yeah, I found it in the vending machine, so I couldn't resist. They used to have collectible, always had collectible cans and stuff during the summer months, some new series of something, and it always was some nostalgia based kind of thing. But that hasn't happened in a while. So I don't know if that's pandemic related or just yeah, the kids aren't up on their old franchises or what it is. All right. So should the spoon have eyes or just be like a tool? I'll try this. Oh, those are really tiny though. Yeah, maybe. It's very strange with this super tiny eyes. Oh well. And again, I'm going to go a little bit bigger. Nice. consumables were waiting to be consumed. So we got a little plastic fork joke, or spoon, little plastic spoon joke. What are those, sample spoons? What's the deal? Or what's the name? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the ice cream places kind of stayed open through the pandemic, like the Baskin Robbins and stuff, but at first they didn't do the samples anymore, and then once they started doing the samples, they treat the spoons like biohazard. Basically throwing them in some horrible thing to be disposed of because they're so toxic. All right, so let's do the comments. I'm laughing at the comments already. Yeah, let's do the comments if I can get this to work. No. Let's try this. It's funny, the Windows always names something different, so there it goes. So it comes up differently. Is that size okay? So I'm on the fly, always resizing this page. Okay, so this is the one from today. I'll put this down a little bit. So this is from today, the 28th, and it did go out already. Oh, so we must... Oh, wow, it went out really early. So if you remember from last week, it was either Destiny or a super strong adhesive keeping them together. So I think I was getting recommendations from the chat. So we came up with a green pepper and a pink rabbit, or a stuffed. I think it was just a stuffed rabbit. I think that was K5's stuffed rabbit. And was it Yum's green pepper? So that's what got stuck together. And we do have a comment already. Pink Bunny, green pepper, pleased to meet you. Nice. Oh, and I'll mark this as already read. I'm sure it'll get a little bit more attention. It just came out, but let's see the previous. So for the 23rd of June, he started to suspect that she was making all this up just to see him again. Oh, she's smiling. She just saw him as a tool. Oh, yeah, all right, there we go. Jay Scarf picked up our joke. Yeah, we were playing around for this one. We were playing around with tool jokes, and it didn't make it into the final. But of course, the commenters come through with the tool joke. All right, and the rare smiling cartoon. And the 21st, she was far too young for such exotic beverages. Boom. No comments. Yeah, so one of those old tiki bar bamboo looking things. Oh, and a very standard breakfast. Soy milk brought the whole breakfast discussion to a halt. Soy milk is good. I think I've already read through these comments. Did not come from memory. It's not milk. Nice. Passing unsweetened almond milk here. Heavy whipping cream for baking. Soy milk is good. I don't trust soy milk, but I really like oat milk. I only use cow milk for baking. All right, let's do some randoms. September 15th, 2011. The lampshade seemed to always be working against him. So a lamp versus lampshade. Quit making shady deals. Yukon Eric. My Japanese is contaminating my pronunciation. Oh, there's a big one. Oh, I think it's supposed to be Subway as well. So September 27th, 2016, they knew it was all about the cookie. That's right, the Subway dessert cookie. I don't know if that's even recognizable, like what that's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a sandwich. Oh, look at that transparency on those glasses. I actually should have made that, grayed out those lines a little bit so it looked like glass. 24th of July, 2018, the bar of soap offered a different kind of clean that left most of the kitchen a bit confused. Weird. Soap suds. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot of other random. I think we've come across some of these before. Still digital, though. So October 20th, 2015, they both went into it knowing they were going to make a very boring sandwich. bologna and white bread, but they both knew they'd be very filling. Nice. And cheap. December 15th, 2011. The days following the death of electronic football were truly joyless. Yeah, do you remember this little Coleco? What was it? One, I think it was like Football and Football 2. Yeah, we played this on the bus. Kids would bring those on the bus, and we pass those around all the time. So it's a very school bus, and it was just like it was those red LED screens that yeah, everything was just represented by blinking red dots. I should have actually put those on the screen so you could see. But yeah, I love those, and the so the field was only represented like 20 yards or something, maybe 25 yards. So you kept running the lengths of the field. If you ran the entire 100-yard field, all the way to the end zone, you kept running, off the edge of the screen and back onto the other edge, and then of course the defenders would show up, in that scroll. Ah, great stuff. We didn't need anything 3D to be entertained. It literally did feel like some kind of, and you could kind of fake, because there was a directional button. So basically up and down and forward. You couldn't go back. So you would wait for the defenders to move and give you an opening, and then you'd navigate through there. But if you went too far, you couldn't ever go back. So got one with fresh batteries sitting on the coffee table, and exercise and nostalgia for visiting friends. Yeah, nice idea. 10-year-old comment gets a like. Yeah, I think I had a little keychain one. It's like only about that big, but it still worked. I mean, it's still like you could play it, and they were pretty big. Like, well, I was a kid, so maybe they were not that big, but they felt pretty big in kid hands. All right, Coleco football. Halloween, October 31st, 2005. Definitely a marker drawing there. Once outside the plastic pumpkin, Candy felt vulnerable. All right, one more. Oh, this was just drawn on stream a few months ago. Now they only needed to think of a name. Oh, that's right. This was kind of a tease to see how many comments I could get. Runcible Spoon is definitely my favorite. Foon Sport. All right, and one that, yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, here's the weird back of a toy. The symbol, the monkey with the symbols. March 31st, 2011. Everything's been from 2011. Simple fun always seemed to give way to loud and annoying. So the little, as it often does. So, a rubber ball versus a wind-up symbol playing monkey. All right, well, let's get back to it. So that's where the comments, and we'll probably get more on the other one, the one from today. So we'll see that next week, hopefully. So now the hard part. So now I don't have to draw anymore. I could put the tablet up. So the writing aspect. Okay, yeah, Rob has already contributed some good ideas, so hopefully I can. Does that work? Yeah. What? Hopefully I can come up with something. So yeah, the sample spoon. What is that? Make sure there isn't like some associated name. Wow, my internet or something is really slow. I'm not dropping any frames, but maybe it's just the computer is moving at a crawl. Yeah, because when I opened that Coca-Cola page, it really choked. Oh, you can buy sample spoons in bulk. Wow. Yeah, just tasting spoons. Oh, so we can go with sample spoon or tasting spoons. Yeah, I don't know. What is funnier? Huh. So the amount of flavors. So an overwhelming. Oh, and I love the reason that Baskin Robbins is 31 is because Bressler's, I think it was the company before Bressler's ice cream, that one of the bigger chains that they were competing with was 30 flavors. So Baskin Robbins went with 31. They have one more flavor. I'm sure it's just vanilla. But yeah, that's why it's such a weird random number, is because they were just doing one more than their competition. Okay, so the plastic sample spoon, tasting spoon. So a ridiculous amount of flavors, oh, come on. Get into what's going on. There we go. There we go. Jeez. Yeah, for some reason, I've got something running that's chewing up the system memory. Okay, it was either Destiny or Super Strong Adhesive. A ridiculous number. Or should I? There was no spoon for milk tasting. Ridiculous number of flavors. Plastic spoon assistance. Where's a gimmick? A sample? Oh yeah, plastic spoon. I'm just doing a generic. Let's see. So they're both dairy, but one has tasting assistance. I never understood why some dairy required tasting spoons, but it's not in the shop. It's not like in the ice cream parlor anymore. Ice cream shop, so I don't know how necessary it is. Oh, okay. So we had, I think, some good ideas from Robbie on this. So yeah, the opening, the fact that it's not childproof. Only certain were I should put the some writing on that cola bottle. Were certain unsafe for children, or maybe not enough. Not enough bottles. Not enough bottles were considered. Should be considered. Not enough bottles were considered unsafe for children. I don't know. I guess that gets the point across, but there's nothing funny about that. Or it's like not. It's not goofy, the wording or anything. But let me write on the cola bottle while I'm thinking about it. So maybe just white, and I can reduce the. So Oh wait, I should select the mask it a little bit here. I'm trying to even think, where does the right, I think it's just around the top, right? Maybe just here. Yeah, I'll just do that and then bring it down just a little bit. There we go. Won't do anything that looks too trademarky. Yeah, I did that one time. I did 2 beer cans and like looked, did like a Google image search and did very accurate reproductions of the labels. Still very simplified. And somebody made a comment about it, like that I was like violating a trademark or something. So it's very funny what people decide to defend. Not enough bottles were considered unsafe for children. That's centered, right? More bottles should. It's important. It's. Or they wondered what was considered unsafe for children. It seemed very random, unpredictable. It's just an open wine bottle, up a cola bottle. Ridiculous number of flavors required plastic spoon assistance. That's the tone. I mean, the kind of weird wording. The more flavors. Yeah, this actually doesn't make a lot of sense because it's only the ice cream that has a big variety of flavors. I guess milk has chocolate. Oh, maybe I should have done that. Yeah, I made this a chocolate milk. I've never done that, I don't think. Let's try that and see what that looks like. So what color? Oh yeah, just do shades of brown. That would be cool. So this shade for the white. Turn this off. See, I'm going back into the artwork already, and maybe this. Oops, this as well. And then a more generic brown. There we go. Having 2 flavors required less. Hey Matt, how's it going? Nice. Yeah, sorry, I led with the convenience store segment because I don't think I could drink didn't think I could stomach a warm Godzilla Energy drink. So we started off with the Godzilla Energy drink, which is a very weak kind of imitation of kind of halfway between Monster and Red Bull with a lot of fake sugar. And it gets worse the warmer it gets. But I love the old 90s graphic. They didn't even like get a more current. It's not even a Godzilla from the 2000s or a current version. But yeah, much more dynamic. All that 90s Godzilla was very, had all the special effects and everything. They were finally using much more computer graphics and stuff for all the energy and stuff. All right, but still rubber suits. They did rubber suits up until the Shin Godzilla was the first time that they didn't do a rubber suit. They still did motion capture though. I guess they had I think it was a kabuki actor actually do the movement with motion capture, and they built I think a chest up model that they were going to use for close-ups, like a puppet, not a suit, but they didn't use it. It was all CG. Maybe it didn't mix very well. Godzilla Energy, yes. Yeah, I love the can. The can was the reason I had to try it. It looks old. Like it looks like this was a license they had about 20 years ago, and they just tried to print it again or whatever. But it's Destroyer. I had to actually look that up. Destroyer. was the villain. I thought at first it was Space Godzilla, but he doesn't. It's not a crystal. It's just spikes that he's full of. And that was quite a opponent for Godzilla, if I remember correctly. All right. Oh, maybe just ignore the spoon and just he couldn't imagine having more than 2 flavors. Just milk and chocolate milk. That's better. Yeah, I don't think mentioning the spoon does anything. Nice. Yeah, it's too bad. They used to, in the summertime, there would always be a series of, some soda or something that would, very kids flavors, but would always have fun cans, like, wraparound graphics cans. But that doesn't happen anymore. I think mostly, I think if anything, it's probably like K-pop, idols and stuff. That's probably taken over some of that. The collectible can deal. Not enough bottles were considered unsafe for children. Okay, sure. Alcohol and Coca-Cola. Okay, I guess that's close enough. Oops, sorry. Bumping the camera here. Yes, right. They have a Mothra. A Mothra that's full of, I don't know, Quaaludes or whatever. It's just a... I guess it's what... I can't even think of the prescription drugs for... it's just tranquilizers. Maybe it's just horse tranquilizer. Yeah, so you get all ramped up with... Yeah, and Godzilla, of course, is such a funny choice for an energy drink. All right, that's enough of that. Oof. Especially the Heisei Godzilla was all about energy, and it was just like glowing insanely orange by the end of that movie series. All right. Yeah, I think that's going to work for the jokes. So he couldn't imagine having more than 2 flavors. I'm sure I'll get some pushback on that. There's probably coffee flavored milk and vanilla milk and everything else. Couldn't imagine having more than 2 flavors. The first time I think I've drawn chocolate milk. That's funny. That was always the thing. I mean, I think we were drinking whole milk anyhow. I don't know if it was even 2%, but I remember like milk at public school. My mother was against, you don't drink chocolate milk in the morning. That's probably would have helped energy-wise. It probably would have helped me a lot. But she was, because I think the milk money, like the little collecting the milk money went in a little envelope, and the parents had to approve. That was very 80s. The parents had to approve whether or not you could drink chocolate milk. Yeah, and of course then, but if there was extra milk from people being absent or whatever, they weren't going to return it, or that was just kind of up for grabs. So we drank chocolate milk anyhow because there was always extra milks. Not enough bottles were considered unsafe for children. Not cola or Cabernet. How's the heat situation for you there, Matt? That was scary. You said you were dealing with heat and no electricity. I hope California's not going to get a bunch of rolling blackouts this summer. I read that Asia is using a lot of coal this season because they're having trouble getting natural gas and oil because of the Ukraine situation, I think. So they are powering a lot of the electricity generation. The grids are being powered by coal generators, so that's nice. That's nice and clean. That'll help everything. That'll guarantee we have oceans rising and polar ice caps melting and everything. Yeah, so both China, I think they said most of Asia, but specifically China and Japan are going pretty heavy into coal for electricity this summer for air conditioning. Oh, 108. Oh, yeah. Let's convert. I guess that mostly everyone is North America, but what's 108 in Celsius? 42. Oh my God. Yeah, if it was 42 here, you couldn't walk around just because the 80% humidity or whatever. It's just like hard to breathe when it gets that hot here. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, and it's are they raising energy rates? They're doing that this summer as well. The power's getting more expensive. Yeah, brownouts. That's fun. It just sucks too if it's not. I mean, I guess, but is where you're at? Do you get a pretty big drop? Is it more desert like, so you get a drop in temperature once the sun is down? I remember that in the valley in LA, you get like 10, 15 degrees temperature drop once the sun was down, and you could actually go outside, and so then you would never see your neighbors until the sun went down. So it was always kind of creepy. Only at night can you interact with your neighbors, because everyone is just like running from air conditioned car to air conditioned house, and then when the sun's gone, people sit out in their garages and front porches and stuff. Oh no. Well, cold showers wouldn't be the worst thing in 108. Oh, that sucks. God damn. All right. Well, I think this works for the cartoons. Brutal. Yeah, I haven't played around with the animation stuff in Photoshop, but maybe I should do that and do like on stream, do some animated some GIF animations and stuff for the notifications. That would be more fun. Like go through cartoons and pick a couple of objects to animate and have them fall over or drop or do something. Central Valley, so we get a drop. Oh wow! Oh jeez. Yeah, still pretty warm. Oh man. Yeah, that's rough, but it's a dry heat. Right. Yeah, I'd be amazed when it's like putting a car in like just parking in a parking lot, like a black asphalt parking lot, to go into like a restaurant or something in Los Angeles, and you would come out and just the heat reflecting on your walk to the car coming off of the black asphalt was brutal. And then you get to your car and it would just be like an oven set on high, and just you had to wait to just sit there, just like you would in the winter. You get your car to warm up, get the heat going, and get everything melted off the windows of the car. You have to sit there and like let everything blow the hot air out. It was good. I only had a couple of cars that had sunroofs, but a sunroof is good because you can open that up and then just get the hot air just jumps out a lot faster. But yeah, just sit there and put the fan all the way up in the air conditioning and try to get all the hot air out the windows. Ugh, that's brutal. Oh man. No, yes. You can barely touch the steering wheel. Yeah, especially if your interior is black or dark gray. You can barely touch the steering wheel and trying to pull out of a parking lot. That's fun. You just keep oven mitts in your in your car. Instead of driving gloves, you can just use oven mitts to touch your steering wheel. Yeah, and I remember the sorry, the metal on the plates in the seat belts get pretty brutal as well. I think you can probably brand yourself with the shape, the little rounded tab and the square cutout of the metal seat belt in those hot car days. Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, it's not quite so bad here, like the heat of the cars and stuff, but the humidity is just ridiculous. Like it is really, like at times really difficult to breathe, and we're having a lot of people collapsing now. There was like a outdoor kind of sports event at one of the public schools, and like 30 people collapsed. Like it was all like, you know, grandparents and parents watching, and 30 people collapsed while trying to enjoy their kids' little scholastic Olympics kind of deal. Yeah, it's brutal. And that was scary because usually in like late summer, like August, early September, we get that kind of thing where it's really hot and it's dangerously hot. But it's right away this year. We're getting the heat advisories. All right, so July 5th. Okay. Memories of super hot steering wheels. I still can't find revert. Did they like completely delete that from the reveal all? There used to be a revert command, I was pretty sure. Alright. Having more than... He couldn't imagine having more than 2 flavors. Okay. Alright. It's dairy existentialism. Okay. Boom. Nice. Yeah, it's brutal. Humidity, like hot and humid, like that means the heat doesn't have to be as high, and it's very brutal. And it means you start to sweat, and the sweat doesn't do anything or go anywhere. So you're just like, you just have this like coat of wetness on you. I remember I went to New Orleans for a conference like in the 90s or whatever, and then got from the airport to the taxi, and I was already like just covered in sweat, and just like, oh, I'm gonna be like this the whole time. And it sucks because at the, you know, conventions and stuff, you have to shake a lot of hands, so you're constantly trying to keep your hands not slimy from but yeah, everyone is just covered in just this sweat that doesn't go anywhere. That's the nastiest part of that. Yeah, in Florida too. I don't think I could do that because it's almost, you know, pretty close to year round. That you've got kind of heat and humidity. Just the summer I can kind of survive because I in the Midwest you kind of get humid, you know, miserable summers. So that feels somewhat normal. But I can't imagine almost all year round choking humidity. Oh, come on, where's my FTP? Oh no, Adobe Fresco. Is that like a is it like some hybrid like 3D? I don't know what that is. Hybrid between 2D and 3D drawing. It sounds like. I think I've heard of it. Like that sounds familiar, but I don't remember. Oh, is it? Let's see. That's for Windows. Yeah, no, I haven't messed with Fresco. I haven't. Yeah, I haven't downloaded. There's so much of this like suite that I haven't even installed because I usually don't. Is Fresco better than Procreate? Wow. Oh, it's a freemium version. No, okay. Yeah. No, I haven't. Is Fresco better than Photoshop? Wow, some idiots on YouTube are saying it is. Oh, Photoshop is dead because we have Fresco now. Yeah, I haven't. I should download that. I wonder what they're trying to do. Yeah, that immediately to me that suggested like a 3D, like a 2D with like a natural media kind of texture painting kind of thing. But it's for iPad. Yeah, it works with iPad and pencil support. So that makes a big difference. They're probably trying to do something to compete with Procreate, and a lot of the Japanese drawing apps are so superior to drawing in Photoshop because they're focused specifically on certain like Japanese, you know, styles of illustration and things. So interesting. Oh, and more, but it's got a subscription model. Awesome. Because Adobe is so obsessed with their subscription model. Yeah, I haven't played with it. I should give it a try, especially if they've got a starter plan. Yeah, thanks, Matt. I haven't looked at that yet. If it's probably like just different enough that it's gonna like be annoying after being so used to Photoshop. Oh, nice. They're free to use. Yeah, I got my daughter's got a newer iPad. I should install it on there, mess around, see what's good about it. Yeah, I forget what she's using, but a lot of the Japanese drawing apps are ad supported, so there's like little banner ads in the toolbars and stuff. It's very cute and very Japanese. Getting advertised to while you're drawing. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I can't believe I've played around with my daughters and was looking at the mini for something like to read rules and stuff on. I got a huge kind of PDF collection, but my Surface is kind of old, so it's real slow with reading. As you can probably tell if you watch the weekly, sometimes my Surface like totally freezes up. I'm trying to scroll down and it just dies. I guess because I've got stupid Google Chrome open. Nice. Yeah, yeah. I've been thinking about. I've got an ancient iPad, but yeah, I like I like how the pencil works really well. And the we played around. She got it for Christmas from her grandfather, and last Christmas, not this one, I think. And we're playing around right away with the handwriting recognition, and it was in Japanese, but it like was perfect. Like the handwriting was amazing. How fast it recognized things. Yeah, and the pencil's pretty cool. It's really expensive though. I guess all those styluses are, but the cool thing is it charges. It like magnetically attaches and charges and I guess even connects when it's charging, like connects when it's like attached to the device. So that's pretty cool. But then that means the cases, they have to make a little slot for the pencil to go into, so that it can connect to the tablet. Yeah, I haven't played with. I'll let you know, Matt. I'll give Fresco a try on my daughter's iPad and see. I said I could probably be drawing this cartoon on an iPad, and instead I don't even have one. But this tablet I'm using is like crazy superior to anything. But yeah, it's funny. I could just be anywhere though drawing this cartoon. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because I could draw it on. I could go sit somewhere, draw it on an iPad, and just prop up my phone and do this live stream. Be a little bit more mobile. Yeah, maybe I'll give that a shot. That'd be funny. All right. So let's see here. Yeah, I wonder what stuff they carve out. Oh, probably the kind of connectivity and stuff. I bet like storage, like backup and storage and stuff, because that's what they try to get you with the Creative Suite. Is they'll give you space, cloud space, a cloud storage space that then all the apps can share. So you open any Adobe app and it's right there, like the stuff you worked on are there, and most of the files like move very easily between the different applications. So yeah, they really try to make that convenience like too addictive. And it's good they came up with a lighter, because they try to do Photoshop, I think, just a stripped down Photoshop for tablets, and I don't think they could take enough out of it to make it even run very well. So hopefully Fresco is snappier. But yeah, they've got a lot of competition though, and Adobe's not great with competition. They don't. They have their way of doing things, and yeah, because for the longest time was it Fractal Designs or whatever? I think Corel bought it. Corel had Painter, but Painter, the drawing program that simulated natural media very well, Photoshop never got anywhere near as well as they could do that natural media simulation, but they never, I guess, had to. Oh, I just noticed in Twitch that the stream last week got broken up into two pieces, so I'm not sure if something happened, if it glitched or whatever, if I lost connection to at least Twitch. But yeah, I didn't notice that with Photoshop. Not Photoshop. YouTube. I've got Photoshop on the brain. I didn't notice it with the YouTube deal. I've got the microphone. Yeah, I still haven't found a good position. And after I shifted everything around, I haven't found a good position for the microphone. So you'll have this weird looming microphone. I think I've got to reposition the camera and everything. Yeah, right. Yeah, I feel very insecure about cloud stuff. I've had some really bad experiences losing some pretty major work to Dropbox's garbage sync software. It's really garbage. I think it's better now, but the original version, you couldn't prioritize anything. It was really messed up. Very, very messed up. Oh, haven't had a chance. Yeah, the my daughter is uh, the players. My players are kind of not at home now, so they don't have a comfortable way to play. So we've still got that last session to do. I might hit them up for Blade Runner though. I got all the way through the case file, the adventure, and the rule book, and I'm kind of interested in trying to run Blade Runner and see how it plays, because the adventure seems fun, and I want to see like how the player interaction and some of the roles work if they simulate things well. It really feels like Blade Runner needed something more like what they did. Sorry, this is going to be all tabletop talk, but Blade Runner should have done something more like what the abstract thing that they did for the Dune 2D20 RPG. So the Modifius Dune has a physical combat and then a social combat, and it's very abstract because you generate like a resource, and it could be a weapon, or some kind of, in the social one, like a social connection or whatever, but you generate these things that then you can use in the combat. And I think with the player interaction, it would have been a little bit more fun to have something more abstract and complicated like that. They seem to go with the action thing because there's pursuit mechanics in Blade Runner for chases, and I guess they thought, oh, there's 2 chases in the movie, so maybe it's all about chasing. So they have a chase mechanics that are similar to the Forbidden Lands combat, where you choose a stance or you choose a move and then compare like a hidden. But yeah, I really want to run that. So yeah, if you have any, Matt, if there's anybody that you know that would want to try Blade Runner from your gaming group, and they would be able to be like, we could coordinate a time where we could be on at the same time, like after dinner time for you, and probably like noonish time for me. We should try to coordinate that, and because I'd like to play. It'd probably be better. 2 players might not be enough, so it might be better 3 or 4, because because it's investigation, and it's very useful to split the party, to have people doing different things at different times based on what they're good at. More players might be better for the because I think it slows things down. I think how the timing of everything progresses slow and strangely with only 2. Yeah. So let me know, Matt, if there's anybody that wants to try, that likes Free League, or at least likes Blade Runner and wants to try out the flavor, because they have 4 pre-gen characters for this first adventure, and it continues. It keeps going on. It doesn't. I mean, I guess it could have a very big dead end, but it has hooks and things into the next part of things. Yeah, I think with the PDF I can, but I can set it up on anything. But I'm thinking we should try it on Astral. We can do like we don't have to do cameras. We can just do like audio on Discord, and then the tabletop on Astral. And I'll just set it up with the scenes, and then I can pop up because basically you're presenting maps that have combat zones, like roughly have combat zones. Because it's the abstract, like near, very far kind of distances, and so I'll just need maps and kind of the little character portraits, and that should be all we need. So Astral should work, and they have a rain effect that I can turn on, so it can always be raining. in the Blade Runner world. And I think they, I'll put some atmospheric stuff in there. That might be fun. That might work well. It'll take a little work to set it up, to pull out all the graphics. But I think once those scenes are set up, I think there's not so many locations that it'll be hard to keep track of, and we can jump between scenes. Oh, that should work really well. Actually, Astral will work really well for how because it's, you're confined to Los Angeles, so you're only exploring parts of the city, and you can split the party so people that have stronger investigation or combat skills or whatever can, go after certain things that may be more or less dangerous. So yeah, let's try to do that, and maybe I'll record audio and just like put it on the Patreon RSS, but we don't have to worry about, and I can, of course, edit it down. I don't have to worry about, performance or having everyone's camera working or anything. Just get some decent audio on Discord. Rain and ramen, yes, exactly. No, 4, 2, 2, 4. But if anybody rubs their waribashi together, they're out of the game. That's my one thing is you don't rub your chopsticks together. I think Harrison Ford taught an entire generation that when you open the disposable chopsticks, that you have to like look like some kind of master and rub them together. That is very, very gauche. All right. Yeah. So, and I was talking before. I watched the. I haven't finished it because it's 13 episodes. I thought it was going to be like 8 or 10. But the Black Lotus, the animated series, I didn't know that it was a series. I thought it was just a short. So I watched some teaser or something on YouTube, and because it was like a girl in ripped tights with Chuck Taylors and a katana, I was like, no, I don't want to watch this. But the story ended up being much better than I thought. Of course, all the major characters are Japanese for some reason, because it's a Japanese animation studio. But it expands things in an interesting way, and it brings up characters that appeared in the PC game and in 2049, and kind of like tries to blend, because there's basically only 3 worlds of Blade Runner: the first movie, the PC game, and the Denis Villeneuve 2049 movie. So they try to make it a bigger world out of that. Yes. But mostly, especially if they're bamboo, there's no splinters. Like, you'll never get splinters in, because a lot of the, I guess there's kind of 2 kinds. There's kind of that, I don't know what kind of wood it is, like a balsa wood. It feels like balsa wood, but that really super light wood. And then the bamboo, and the bamboo never have splinters. Bamboo is fiber, so it doesn't have splinters. But yeah, don't rub your chopsticks together. Nice. I saw the trailer. Yeah, the series, the Netflix series. Yeah, I saw the trailer for it, and it looks cool. I like that studio a lot. I like the crazy kind of psychedelic, animation and stuff that they do. So I'm curious to see, and if they capture the world well and it has an anime look, that may be really cool. But sometimes though, they just have like character names and setting and like a, look of things, like an anime stylized version look of things, and then the story is just like total anime nonsense. So hopefully, if it feels like the game a little bit more in the storytelling, it might be really good, and the action will be good. We know that that studio does really cool fights and animation, so all the kind of melee and sword play and stuff will be really cool. Yeah, it's very bright. Yeah, that's very true. But that was the thing that I liked about the 2077 game, is how much time you spend in the bright sun, and the that felt very different, because then everything isn't like lit by pink neon. It's like sometimes you're just out in this shitty desert sun, and especially if you're playing the storyline, the Pan Am storyline, and you're out with the gearheads, the car clans. Yeah, but that's true. It's very bright. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it just turns into the typical anime story, then it kind of sucks. If it has those types, that's the thing I'm worried about. Is it's going to have those the squeaky voiced, girl and the deep voiced cool guy, and like the okay, I don't want to watch that anime again. But if they and especially if they expand on the lore, like if some writers from the game or whatever scripted it or at least outlined it, it could be some cool lore stuff. But yeah, I like that studio, but I'm not sure if it's a great match for Cyberpunk. It may have been better to do like a dark CG, kind of thing, something that matched the tone of the game. Yeah, that I liked that there were certain scenes and stuff where you're kind of, and especially because your character is like, having that, they're degrading, they're like, the whole storyline is you're dying and your capacities are degrading, your physical and mental ability, and so there's a lot of weird like hangover or kind of messed up in the bright California sun type feel. I like that feels right for some reason. So you have all these set piece kind of dramatic shootouts and stuff in the dark and in warehouses and stuff, and then like you'll have dramatic scenes where you wake up in some shitty apartment in the kind of Santa Monica type area with the sun blasting in. Oh yeah, Appleseed, yeah. Oh damn. Yeah, I want to watch that. Yeah, they kind of screwed up Appleseed though, because the more recent stuff is that real crappy. They did that real crappy CG animation, but I love especially the manga, the old manga. The newer Appleseed stuff is kind of weird because they just chose cheap animation. I like that setting. Yeah, the Ghost in the Shell manga too. Yeah, I like that cyberpunk setting is very cool. Oh, nice. Yeah, so let's try to get a game of Blade Runner together. I'll talk to my players and see if they've even seen the movie. I bet they haven't seen both movies, but I'll see if they've seen at least one of the movies and if they're interested. But yeah, schedule-wise, we'll have to play around with that. Do like a Friday or Saturday night kind of thing. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, very investigation-heavy game, which may be fun, but there's so many other systems that do that. I wonder why they thought they would do a Year Zero like mod version of it, because every Cthulhu type game is an investigation game, so there's already systems and a lot of experience doing that. So I don't know, what are they thinking? I guess they're thinking we have the license, so let's use it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but then once we get a chance to play it, then I want to do a early review, like a preview review for it, instead of just based on my reaction. If I just go based on my read-through reaction, it's not going to be very positive. But hopefully it plays better. It plays better than it reads, but we'll find out. Nice. Yes. It's not 5e. Could you imagine 5e Blade Runner? I still want to do that. Just maybe graphically make a tease, like do one of the Chris's favorite Powered by the Apocalypse, and just do a dummy cover like a Monster Hearts or something 5e edition, just for the reaction. Yeah, at least. Well, and that's the thing. Hopefully. Wizards of the Coast isn't going to get into that, because as soon as they think that licensed stuff is licensed IPs is a moneymaker, we're going to be in trouble with everything like 5e being adapted to every franchise. That's a little bit what that Everyday Heroes felt like. Yeah, I was a little worried about that, so we'll see. Yeah, crazy. Why doesn't anything work well? There we go. Evil. Yes. All of your favorite RPG systems are going to be converted to 5e. Uh, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I can't believe we've got another. I guess we've still got. That's 2 years away, right? But a 5.5e coming out. Whatever it's going to be. It's just going to be totally. It's going to be nothing. It's going to be just a blank book where you just write in the system that you want to play using a D20. Uh, yeah, it's crazy. Oh, we had the uh, last Sunday, this past Sunday, we did RuneQuest. So we kind of got a little bit beyond character creation and had kind of a hero quest. We're playing a setting that where we all start out as like 16-year-old kids in the village doing your kind of rite of passage, and we did the combat in RuneQuest, and I liked it a lot. It's a lot swingier and deadlier than I thought it was, and I got lucky. I didn't like instantly get murdered. But I like how some of the things work in RuneQuest a lot, like powering, using an elemental rune to power. So there's things that are aligned with weapons and things, and you roll for a rune affinity that you have, and then that powers your rolls and things. It's pretty cool. Oh, I gotta check that out. Yeah, 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 definitely. I would like to hear, yeah, Polly's take. Yeah, still, oh, new one. Yeah, the newest Chaosium version. I don't know what that is. I don't. Do we have a? I guess it's like was it seventh, fourth? I don't know. I don't know what it's considered. Yeah, it's the newest Chaosium version. I have the reprint they did of the second edition. What are they calling it? Sorry, this is how much I know about things. Yeah, just the RuneQuest role playing in Glorantha, which they are calling. But I guess the rules have pretty much, they haven't gotten too crazy. Um, bum, bum. Yeah, maybe they're being careful about what they're calling it, because it's been everyone's had yeah, that's right. The version of it's been around through so many publishers now that it's probably hard to say. But I got the Kickstarter they did where they did the reprint of the second edition book. I love that cover. I love his wife's illustration for that classic cover. But yeah, I liked it. It's still hard. It's still hard to get my head completely around what we're doing. We're doing like a, you know, Bronze Age, but not bronze. Like there's no bronze, but it is. It's like this material that it has a little bit more magical property. So it's an age of myth and legend and much more elemental powers and things. So it's a animist. What is it? Animist. The religion is as a spirit religion, and there's a huge pantheon of gods and things. I can't think of the term, but yeah. But it's I liked the combat and stuff much better than I thought I would, and the D percentile is fun. It's a nice change from when we were doing the AD&D D20 rolls. We're getting really depressing. That combat was just so miss. Oh, big hit, double damage. Okay. Animism. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, that the setting, it's still taking some time, and we're playing a different, like a kind of a lost tribe. So they have different gods and things, and it's a little more Scandinavian, a little more Norse in its mythology. But it's beautiful. It's a really beautiful story, and like our little ceremony that we're going through in this like spirit, this hero quest, spiritual hero quest thing is pretty cool. And I'm curious to see what kind of characters that's gonna create, because we finished that part and we went as far as we could go, and we're all kind of back we'll be back at the village and then kind of be choosing our paths and getting abilities and things as we go, based on kind of the results of our little interaction with the gods. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, but the setting, every time I've listened to even the Chaosium, like people talking about the lore, I'm just like, I can't get my head around any of this. Like, it's because it's referencing this giant pantheon and this like huge, kind of elemental world. I don't have a clear idea of kind of the order of things and everything. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, you have. Yeah, you're rolling, and there's all kinds of things you can use to kind of modify and enhance things. But yeah, you basically you roll a parry, and what I like too is you could roll all the dice at once because you're basically rolling your percentile to hit location and damage, and all those dice are different, so you could just roll them all together and you'll never confuse because it's two d10s and a d20 and then whatever your damage is, which is less than probably less than a d10. So I liked how you could just throw everything out there and I missed, so you don't look at the other dice. But yeah, and then the adversary is parrying, so they're rolling their parrying ability off of their either their shield or some other ability, and their dodge ability or whatever. And but then the weapons and armor are they have hit points, and you're interacting with those as well. So you can hit somebody, not do any damage, but shatter their shield, and or you can break your sword. I like messed my sword up pretty good. I had like 8 hit points on my sword, and I knocked it down to 4, I think, by the end of the combat. So I was getting in danger of breaking my broadsword. So that was cool. I liked the how you're rolling attack and parry, and you can actually, in parrying and things, you can do damage back onto the attacking characters, and most often break their weapons. So yeah, it has a kind of back and forth. And I guess we were doing it because it was the first time we had done it. We were doing it kind of slowly and in rounds, where we were kind of going around the table, because each of us was kind of in our own little spirit combat with an opponent, on this generational spirit realm battlefield. So we were on this battlefield of this classic a battle that saved the world, all fighting these evil beast men. And so we couldn't see each other, we couldn't assist each other or interact with each other. We were all having our little personal combat. So we did it in rounds, but it maybe would have been better to resolve each person's combat back and forth. That would have been more accurate to what the game plays like. But it was fun. Yeah, I liked it better, and I liked because combat, because Call of Cthulhu is not combat heavy. So unless you have a character that's a little more capable, you're not resorting to physical things as well. But I liked how this handled combat. It was pretty fun. Yeah, so the attack and parry is cool, and you can really screw yourself up by breaking your weapons on people's heads and armor and stuff. So that was cool. So yeah, I'll let you know. I think we're just doing basically our experience and skills in the next session, so there probably won't be any role play beyond that. But yeah, that should be fun. But yeah, it's an interesting system. I have the PDF, Matt, if you want to take a look at the newest version. I don't like how the book is organized very much. It looks nice, but it's hard to find stuff. I have so many those tab post-it notes sticking out of so many places because it doesn't, things aren't very intuitive about where they're placed and stuff, like the order that stuff is in. So I'm looking around, and it's I guess until you play it, it's hard to get a sense of rune magic, sorcery, all the different, and the shaman. So I'm probably going to be a shaman, or be a shaman hopeful, aspiring shaman. So I'll get into the shamanistic magic, and so then there's a spirit realm, and so the spirit realm is kind of like the cyberspace or whatever in a cyberpunk game where you can do spirit combat with somebody or something, and you're just sitting there in a trance, or you're dancing. You're doing a weird dance or something. So while everyone else is like killing beastmen, you're like writhing around in the corner, but you're actually doing spirit combat. So I'm curious to see how that goes and how those two worlds interact. Oh, nice. Yeah, if it's the basic role play and similar mechanics with a parry mechanic, it's probably very similar. But I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. I still am not don't have my head around Glorantha very well, but I like the system so far, and I like how weird and unexpected the character is, because you roll so much of your ancestry, your grandparents and your parents, and what war they died in, and what they passed you, and what status you are, and everything. So I'm a lowly sheep herder, shaman, hopeful candidate, apprentice, whatever. So we'll see how that works power wise. But I like it so far. It's so different from D&D and the OSR stuff we've been playing that it's fun. And the funny thing is the rule book's pretty huge, but all you really need is that original rule book that they published, which was only 50 pages or something, 40 pages. The rules themselves are not that huge, but they make a huge rule book with all the spells and all the runes and cults and affinities and stuff, and it's a lot. It's a lot to kind of get your head around. But it's been fun so far, so I'll keep you updated. Yeah, right. The percentage thing is I always notice, though, in a lot of the basic roleplay based games, the character generation is way more involved. It's a little bit too involved for just like your first experience with the game and first experience with the system. Because both Call of Cthulhu, I was happy that I played a pre-gen character in the first game that we played, because character generation is a little bit brutal, and you can, because of that huge mass of skills, you can put points in stuff that's completely useless. Basically, Cthulhu, you want library and spot or whatever. That's all you need to be a good investigator. And if you have really bad research skills and really bad perception, then you're just going to get surprised and clobbered by everything. Yes, but I definitely want to play some more Call of Cthulhu, especially with the rules light, with the Cthulhu, with Miguel's Cthulhu rules, and I will be unboxing the reprint soon. I got to get that done. My schedule's been a mess. Yikes! And I will be coloring some illustrations, Matt, very soon. So sorry, I haven't had time to really get much accomplished with that, but we'll have some color illustrations soon. Nice. Yeah, epic Bronze Age fantasy. Yeah, I like that it's Bronze Age, but it's not bronze. It's another kind of metal. But everything looks. I think that's the Bronze Age kind of gets you in the right headspace of what people are going to look like, hoplites, and have round shields and crested helmets and things. Yes. Yeah. We gotta. We should do that. I want to. So one of those adventures that's in that reprint box set, I want to try to convert to Cthulhu and see how that goes, and report back to Mikhail. Yeah, nice. All right. So how are we doing time wise? Oh, good. Nice. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many books that they're doing for RuneQuest, but they still haven't done the latest edition of RuneQuest, but they still haven't done the Game Master's book yet. So it's weird because the core book references the Game Master's book, but there's no Game Master's book yet. So that's very odd. But it's a good break from D20. Yeah, Matt, take it easy. Yeah, it's getting late for you. So yeah, we'll talk soon, and I'll update you with some illustrations and some Blade Runner, some Blade Runner game, hopefully. But yeah, take care and stay cool. Hopefully it doesn't get too miserable in the middle of the night. But yeah, we'll talk soon. Take it easy. All right, so yeah, no convenience store because we did that early on. So go back to the beginning of the stream if you want to see what Godzilla Energy tasted like. It's just a week halfway in between the popular energy brands, which is what you would expect from Cheerio. Nice. Oh, but there's a lot of there's some fun details though. The capsule, it almost looks like the energy destroyer. I don't remember in the Destroyer movie, but there's an oxygen destroyer looking capsule on the back of the can. I just saw that. Nice. Well, good night, Matt. Take it easy, and I will be signing off here as well. So I hope everyone is doing well and enjoyed the stream. So we will do this again next week. So thanks again, and thanks for the sign up. I actually had a subscription. Let me double check here. Oh, come on, which is which here? There we go. So Original Ali, thank you for the follow on Twitch, and Highestest Royalistest, thank you so much for the sub on YouTube. That happened yesterday when we weren't streaming. So I won't be with you for the 4th of... Well, I guess it still will technically be the 4th of July. So maybe the next stream is going to be pretty dead because everyone's going to be watching fireworks, because it'll be the 5th here, but it'll be the 4th for all of the Americans. So enjoy your 4th of July, and I'll be around. If you get tired of watching fireworks, I will be online streaming. So see you then. Hey, some empty friend, how's it going? Nice. Yeah, quiet night. But next week there'll be plenty of fireworks if you're in the US. We hope. Who knows what's going on? Maybe those will be banned as well. Who knows? Yeah, good to see you, some empty friend. Nice to know you're around. So the website for the cartoon is abusecartoons.com, and you can find the archive that we looked at the comments on at gocomics.com/domestic abuse, and then Abuse Cartoons on all social media. Oh, Houston next week. Oh, wow. Wow, I wonder what 4th of July is like in Texas. I can imagine it's pretty big and bombastic. They got some money, then they do things big, so maybe you'll get some big fireworks displays. Well, let us know. Yeah, let us know how Houston Independence Day goes. Right. So yeah, we'll do this again, and I'll have something else fun from Japan. Maybe not as fun as Godzilla Energy, but something around that way. And yeah, right. Exactly. Oh yeah, in Los Angeles, man, the local fireworks, like neighborhood fireworks, are just nonstop. Yeah, people have, because it's a lot of Latino, neighborhoods and stuff. So you just hear fireworks all night, and also hear gunfire. Like people also shoot guns to celebrate. So yeah, it's noisy all night. So yeah, take care. I hope it's a fun change and not too loud. But it probably, yeah, if it's anything like Los Angeles, it'll be all night explosions. So good night, everyone, or good morning, good afternoon, and we'll do this again next week. So thanks, as always, for watching. And yeah, the archive of this stream is both YouTube and Twitch. And yeah, check out Go Comics for even more, the archive of this cartoon and even more cartoons, if that is your thing. So take care, everyone, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.